Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final edition of SmackDown before WrestleMania. And already we are looking to kick things off right away with Death Rider in the building. Jon Moxley opening the show just days before he headlines the first night of WrestleMania in a triple threat match for the WWE Championship. His opponents will meet later on this evening. But now, Moxley is in the building. And it certainly seems as if Death Rider will have a thing or two to say here in St. Louis, the home of last year's WrestleMania, a show that Jon Moxley wasn't even on. And now this year, he headlines the first night in Tampa Bay with the chance to become WWE Champion for the second time. There will be a war tonight in our main event between Ricochet and Tommaso Ciampa, there is no doubt about that. But here and now, the stage belongs to Moxley on the eve of what could be a massive moment for Death Rider. The biggest week in wrestling is firmly underway. It got underway with Monday Night Raw and it continues on here with SmackDown. And this place is on its feet for Moxley, and there is a smile on that twisted man's face. He loves the reaction. And for the first time in a long time, he's got something to say. Moxley quick and to the point. All we've heard these last few weeks on SmackDown is Ricochet and Ciampa saying it's your fault to each other. And we've assumed that that is to do with Jon Moxley being added to the WWE Championship match. And look at Moxley. He's having none of that idea. Moxley saying it's no one's fault because he couldn't be stopped. He steamrolled his way to WrestleMania. He took down everyone along the way, and now all that remains is that triple threat match. Come rain or shine, whatever they do at WrestleMania, Moxley doesn't care. He's stepping in with one goal in mind, the WWE Championship, leaving with him. And he dares Ricochet and Tommaso Ciampa to try and stop him. Before then, could Jon Moxley be the next WWE Champion? Well, Mox has said his piece, but there is action to come our way this evening, and there is plenty of it. Days before he faces Jay White at WrestleMania, Kazuchika Okada will have to step into the ring with Robert Roode and may finally find out why Roode has assaulted him for the last 2 weeks. But tonight, in our main event, it's the match that was originally scheduled to main event WrestleMania. Ricochet versus Tommaso Ciampa, the Royal Rumble winner versus the WWE Champion. That is going to be a big main event, perhaps the biggest we're going to have this week, because it was the match that was originally scheduled, as I said a moment ago, to main event the grandest stage of them all. Savior, the winner of this year's Royal Rumble, and the WWE Champion, Tommaso Ciampa. That is to come later on this evening, and there is plenty more in between that. And we are kicking things off with a triple threat match involving one member of each of the three teams who will collide at that very event for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. MJF, Tama Tonga and Roderick Strong all meeting here tonight as Perfect, G.O.D. and the Saviors will meet at WrestleMania in a triple threat tag team match for those SmackDown Tag Team titles. Warm welcome to you all wherever you are tuning in on what promises to be a very hectic episode of SmackDown here tonight. Coming up after this, Becky, Lynch and Shayna Baszler will be backstage for an interview ahead of their meeting for the SmackDown Women's title, and we will have an in-ring stare down between Sasha Banks and Trish Stratus as well later on this evening, ahead of what will be Trish Stratus' final match at WrestleMania against the Boss. That one is going to be historic. But right now we are kicking things off with a man who wants the spotlight to be on him at all times, and will certainly want that to be the case at WrestleMania as well. One half of Perfect, MJF, certainly full of ego, full of himself, full of arrogance, and hoping that after this weekend they will be full to the brim with championship gold as well. But if him and EC3 want to do that, they gotta go through one half of the teams that will oppose them. Tama Tonga stands ready and willing to go to WrestleMania. One of the longest title reigns in company history with those WWE Tag Team titles, SmackDown Tag Team titles rather, with Tangaloa now looking to keep a firm grasp on them as well. Once again to become three-time tag team champions, I believe it would be at the grandest stage of them all. But of course MJF and Tama Tonga, EC3 and Tangaloa, they'll want to hold those titles at the end of WrestleMania. But if they want to do that, they got to take them away from the champions. And here is one half of those very champions. Roderick Strong, the man who requested that it be a triple threat tag team match at WrestleMania last week. It was Perfect versus G.O.D. The bad blood was there to be spilled in this contest, and when the time came, it ended in a double count out. MJF and Tama Tonga getting each other counted out, but it was the Gorillas of Destiny who stood tall after the dust had settled. However, it was Roderick Strong who made the announcement, who made the declaration rather, that he wanted a triple threat tag team matchup at WrestleMania, that both teams had said enough and done plenty, and it was time to shut them both up, and for the Saviors to cleanse both teams at WrestleMania. Well, here's their chance to do just that here tonight in this triple threat matchup. One fall to a finish, all about getting the upper hand and the mind games advantage over your opponents heading into WrestleMania. Certainly no love lost between any of these teams. The Saviors who won those tag team titles at TLC. Oh, nice move by Roderick Strong there. Tama Tonga and Tangaloa, of course, who held those titles on 2 occasions now. Look out here, nice little combination there. Might be temporary alliances, but trust me, there is no love lost between any member of these teams. They all want the same prize, they all want the same thing, and it's just the annoyance and arrogance of MJF that led to Roderick Strong and Tama Tonga working together in that very brief moment. With it being a one-on-one contest, your idea might be that Tama Tonga could perhaps be the favorite in this contest, because remember, it might have been under controversial circumstances, but Tama Tonga is a former Intercontinental Champion, having held that belt last year, winning it from Finn Balor. MJF and Roderick Strong on the other hand. Well, MJF hasn't held any titles in that regard, but I believe Roderick Strong does have a Cruiserweight Championship reign in the past to his accolades. Along the course with this ECW and SmackDown Tag Team titles to go with them. Strong now doing a number here on Tama Tonga, having got back into the ring. MJF will have a go as well. Tama Tonga certainly have reason to put your eyes on him, of course, not only with that former Intercontinental Championship reign, but we know how dangerous the Gorillas of Destiny are and all that they have done in this tag team division over the past 2 years. Whenever they're around, they're always dangerous and they're always in the fray for those tag team titles as Tama Tonga comes in with a very nice lariat there. MJF on the outside. It's now Tama Tonga and Roderick Strong in the ring doing battle. Death Valley driver there from Tama Tonga. And look at MJF, he's in no hurry to get back into the ring. Instead, he just seems to be jaw-jacking with the fans on the outside. Very typical of MJF, shall we say, to just stay out of the ring and let these guys do their job. Strong, roll up, could have things over and done with you, but Tama Tonga, nicely done there. Didn't get the shoulder up, but sort of scooted his way over to that bottom rope and got the rope break. It's off the suplex as well. There has the arm. Oh! Drives the knee into the arm, up on the shoulders, big time move. Electric chair face buster by Tama Tonga there. Roderick Strong goes down, and still there's no sign of MJF trying to get back into the ring. He's fine, just standing on the outside, watching on as Roderick Strong gets a 2 count there. It's smart from MJF, has to be said, but it's also quite scummy. But it's a tactic that could work at WrestleMania as well to win them those SmackDown Tag Team titles. Tama Tonga from the top with a leg drop, and now MJF comes back into the ring, knees Tama Tonga in the face and tries to steal the cover from him as he pinned one off of the Tag Team Champions. No! Dastardly tactics from MJF, but are we really surprised as he now looks to wear down Roderick Strong with a full advantage here? In the corner goes Roderick Strong, and in the other corner is Tama Tonga, who gets knocked down with a double fist and a running uppercut. From MJF to Strong. Strong takes it to the floor. Go, gut wrench attempt, then nice counter by Tama Tonga. German suplex dead center middle of the ring. And now MJF has got himself stuck in the ring with a man who he had a gun stun from last week on SmackDown. Could he be in for the same receipt again here tonight? Look out, rolling cutter! Tama Tonga drags him to the middle of the ring. Has he finished off MJF here? The cover is made. Strong into the fray and breaking things up. Oh, the knee there takes Tama Tonga down again. MJF looks like he's almost down and out in the ring, like he might not have even made the kick out happen. Yeah, the mixed reaction for Roderick Strong with every move he hits as well. Strong now with his hands on MJF. MJF though coming up the counter, elbows his way free there from Strong. Has him in, drives the elbow over the chest. And now what will we see in the corner? Goes Roderick Strong, moves out of the way of the attempted running uppercut there. Look out, Huff Nelson backbreaker. The savior of the backbreaker doing his work. Right hand, counter by MJF, up against the ropes. Could we see the heat seeker? No, MJF working over the arm. Going to be difficult to try and get a submission victory. A, over Roderick Strong, and B, in a triple threat match as well. Beautiful slam from Tama Tonga there though. Always action going on here. And MJF is facing the brunt of it right now. It has to be said, neck breaker, and MJF taking his usual tact and rolling out of the ring, leaving Tama Tonga and Roderick Strong to do battle with one another instead. Strong on the fight back here, off the ropes, belly to belly, headbutt there by Tama Tonga. Running drop kick as well, and down goes Strong. It has been all action in this triple threat, has to be said. If this is just a taster of what we're in for at WrestleMania, then we're in for something big for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Boot to the face, Strong has him! End of heartache! Roderick Strong got absolutely all of it. Why isn't he rushing in for the cover? Strong made a mistake. MJF trying to capitalize. MJF from behind, rolls up Strong. MJF has pinned Roderick Strong. A lapse in concentration from one half of the tag team champions, and it cost them. MJF, the sneaky opportunist as he always is, sneaking his way into another chance and another victory to his name with Drew Gulak. We haven't seen Gulak since he was powerbombed by Tommaso Ciampa backstage a number of weeks ago, but Gulak's here! And he's going right after MJF. Gulak! Gulak's on the warpath! The Gulak is in, but MJF, he rolls his way out of it. MJF escapes his way out of that one. And he is running for the hills. Running away from Drew Gulak as quick as he can, but he's running into a gun stand. Tama Tonga gets his revenge. MJF may win, but it's still anyone's game for the SmackDown Tag Team Titles at WrestleMania. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined this moment in time by SmackDown Women's Champion Shayna Baszler and number one contender Becky Lynch. We're going to allow equal opportunity for both women to speak. And we're going to kick things off with the champion Shayna Baszler. Is there anything you want to say to your challenger before WrestleMania? statement sent by Shayna Baszler. Becky Lynch definitely had her in the war of words department there, but Shayna Baszler choking out Becky Lynch. How will that sit within the man just days before they meet for the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania? Absolutely, in my mind, Shayna Baszler was rattled by what Becky Lynch said, and Becky Lynch may have had a point. She has built this women's division. This has stood on the backbone of Becky Lynch ever since the women made their return to the WWE. It was Lynch who held the first WWE Women's Championship when the women made their return to this company, and now she's looking to stand at the top of the mountain for a 5th time. But has she faced anyone like Shayna Baszler? She's toppled her rival in Nikki Cross before. She's toppled Asuka, Sasha Banks. There are a lot of names she's beaten. But can she beat Shayna Baszler? We'll find out at WrestleMania, but right now this match has got a lot of bad blood built up on it, and it's a match that certainly one side doesn't want to take part in. Robert Roode versus Kazuchika Okada. A number of weeks ago, these guys were aligned with the same common goal, looking to topple Jay White and take him down for everything they had done. Roode had become incensed with Jay White. He wouldn't let anything get in his way. He believed him and Okada were partnered against Jay White. Okada simply said that wasn't the case, and we still don't know why 2 weeks ago at the end of SmackDown, when Jay White looked to stamp a chair on the head of Robert Roode, and that man made the save, that Roode laid him out with a glorious DDT. Okada, what's the answer? Roode said, if you want it, fight me tonight, and that is exactly what's going to happen. But listen to the ovation in St. Louis for the Rainmaker! It was here 1 year ago, the Rainmaker was reborn, and he captured the WWE Championship from Brock Lesnar. And now he stands in the same state a year later. The undeniable, in my opinion, ace of SmackDown, the superstar of the year, perhaps the biggest name in the WWE as it stands, walking into WrestleMania for the first time to not face for the WWE title. Instead, he does battle with Jay White, who wants to topple Okada and bring the era of the Switchblade to SmackDown. It all stems from TLC, from when White cost Okada the WWE Championship. From a bitterness and jealousy within Jay White that believes that he should be in Okada's spot and that he should be at the top of SmackDown. Well, this weekend it is put up or shut up for Jay White. He's got to beat him. He's got to beat the Rainmaker. He's got to beat the unbeatable. Okada has stepped into WrestleMania twice, both times as a challenger for the WWE Championship, and both times he left with the WWE Championship. There's no title on the line this time around, but there is a hell of a grudge between him and Jay White that has been stemming for almost 4 months now. Robert Roode has got himself involved in this. Okada doesn't want to fight Roode. He just wants to know why Roode attacked him, what Jay White did to Robert Roode. But if he's got to fight him tonight, so be it. The Okada Bucks fall from the ceiling, and Kazuchika Okada is ready to do battle with the glorious one. It is always a spectacle to see the Rainmaker in action. And we get to see it again against Robert Roode. Look at the face of Robert Roode. They're so determined and focused and angry, and Okada looks very composed almost. Maybe even too composed, like he doesn't want to be here. And in a way, he doesn't. He doesn't want to fight Robert Roode. Oh, but Roode does. He comes in with a clothesline there. Spear attempt as well, and Okada leapfrogs over that. Look at Roode. He is going straight after Okada, but Okada having none of it. Already well scouted here. Irish whip, but he doesn't follow up. Okada just wants the answers. He doesn't want to have to fight here, but Roode does want to fight. Roode sends him into the corner. Okada ducks under the lariat, but Roode will look to capitalize from this moment on. Roode kicking the gut, heavy blow in the back. Roode said it last week, if Okada wants the answers, he's going to have to fight him for it. Oh, and Okada, though, is already not going to be at 100%. If I had to guess, the glorious DDT 2 weeks ago. The back-to-back Blade Runners last week. One on the floor and one in the ring from Jay White. Now he's going to have to fight Robert Roode, the man who he saved from having his chair stomped on his head and neck a few weeks ago, is now the man who he has to fight. We want to know why. We want the answers. Okada is desperate for those answers. He doesn't want to have to fight Robert Roode, but if he's got to, then that's on Robert Roode's conscience, because he's stepping into the ring with one of the greatest to ever lace up a pair of boots. And if that's what Roode wants to go through, so be it. But it's his fault. Should he come up? Oh, second best to Okada. What a DDT from the Rainmaker. Will he put away Roode right here and now? Not to be. Okada can stay on the moment here, and he'll do just that. Diving fish drop, but you get the sense with what Okada's doing thus far that he doesn't want to fight Robert Roode. He doesn't want to hurt Robert Roode, I think, more than anything. You can see him again trying to get the answers out of Robert Roode, and Roode is just, he's giving him nothing. He's not saying a word. He's not giving him any response. It's simple for Okada. He has to fight Roode here and now if he wants to know why Robert Roode is attacking him and seemingly is on the side of Jay White. But we don't know, because Okada got in the way before White and Roode could share the ring last week. Roode bomb there for a count of 2. Knife edge chop in the chest. Both men, of course, with plenty of success in the past. Robert Roode, having held every secondary title there is to hold. The United States Intercontinental and ECW Television Championship. Also a former WWE Champion like Kazuchika Okada. But all of that just seems like it was a different Roode in that moment. Not the man who we see on the apron right now with Kazuchika Okada sharing the ring with him. Roode on the top rope here, incoming. Oh, beautiful neck breaker from Roode. He goes into the cover as he finishes off the Rainmaker here tonight. No, 2 count. Roode getting frustrated there. He wants more than a 2 count, but you can tell Robert Roode wants this one. And look who's watching on backstage. The Switchblade has got his eyes on what is going on. And as always, he's running his mouth. White again running his mouth before WrestleMania, calling this the final episode of SmackDown in the era of Okada. Will that be the case? We'll find out. Right now, though, we're back to the in-ring action. We know White is in the building and he's watching backstage. If I was Okada, I'd be cautious of that, as he nails his signature apron DDT there on Robert Roode. In the corner goes Roode again. Look out here, Okada. Wherever he is in the ring, he's always dangerous, and you never quite know what the Rainmaker's going to execute. But you know one thing is for certain, it's going to be as beautiful as you like. Nice belly-to-belly counter there, though, by Robert Roode. Roode now sends him into the corner, but Okada quick with a back elbow to get himself out of the situation there. Roode now sent across the ring into the turnbuckle. Nice front drop kick there by Okada to send Roode recoiling into the turnbuckles. Okada from behind, German suplex. Pinpoint and precise as ever. Okada up on the shoulders. Death Valley Driver. Beautifully executed as well from the Rainmaker. Okada sees the opportunity to capitalize, and he's going to do just that. Top rope elbow. Okada really doesn't seem in trouble in this contest, has to be said. 2 count there, Roode gets a shot up in time, but he doesn't seem in trouble. Roode's getting in some offense for sure, but it does feel like Okada is in the driver's seat here, it has to be said. Dictating the pace and driving Roode down with some more of his signature offense. Standing firm over Robert Roode now. And look at him. Telling Roode this is his last chance. Tell him what he wants to hear or he's going to have to finish him off. Roode ain't batting an eye. Drop kick. Okada is firm pressed to put a statement on Robert Roode ahead of WrestleMania. Rainmaker. The count, the 2, the victory for the Rainmaker. Okada puts away Robert Roode. And he never seemed like he was in too much trouble either. He controlled the match, and that could be telling to Jay White. The mind games aren't working. Look at how Okada just controlled that contest from the opening bell. Will that be the case when the Switchblade and the Rainmaker finally go one-on-one at WrestleMania? We will find out in just a few days' time. A relatively easy victory in the pocketbooks for Okada, and he's not done here. He's standing tall over Robert Roode, but it doesn't look like Okada wants to do anything. He looks down at Roode. Maybe hopeful for one final moment. And is he finally going to get it? Roode is finally going to tell him why he struck. No! Jay White from behind with a chair. Blade Runner onto the chair. The Switchblade strikes at the opportune moment. And he looks over Okada with that thick look in his eye once again. Okada wanted the answer. White gate crashing it though and spilling the Rainmaker to the outside. A Blade Runner on the chair. Okada has no idea where he is right now. Roode, no. Blade Runner's at Roode as well. Wait a minute, he's got the chair again. White with the chair in hand and laying in to Robert Roode with it. Blasting him. No, not again! Not again! White's got the chair on the neck of Robert Roode, but this time, Okada isn't here! Don't do it! Don't do it! Jay White, oh my God! Stomping the chair into the neck and the throat of Robert Roode! Okada is down on the outside! Could this be the beginning of the new era? At WrestleMania? Could we breathe with the Switchblade? Oh, Keith Lee with a big message there. Ibushi and Owens is going to be a big match no matter what the case. But Keith Lee wants the next shot at them. It's a shame that Ibushi couldn't be here, not cleared to be at the arena after the attack from Tommaso Ciampa at the end of last week's SmackDown. But Kevin Owens and Kota Ibushi will meet at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship. We're talking about WrestleMania matches. The dream match at WrestleMania between two icons of women's wrestling will be taking place. Numbers 1 and 2 in the Royal Rumble they were, and now meeting at the grandest stage of them all. But before that, it is time for one final meeting. One final stare down between Sasha Banks and Trish Stratus before their fated match at WrestleMania. The boos for Sasha are the opposite to the adulation for Trish Stratus, who for the final time in her illustrious career will walk out on a SmackDown stage. What a bout this is going to be between these two. All the bad blood that spilled at the Royal Rumble, and all that will continue at WrestleMania. We've seen Stratus training, ready, prepared, sharing the ring with Mickie James, Lita, and Ronda Rousey for her final match against the Boss. Let's see what these two women have to say to each other. Well, Trish Stratus was right. Sasha Banks really does only care about one thing, and that's Sasha Banks. Trish wants to leave a lasting legacy in women's wrestling. Wants to go out on a high, but more than anything it seems now, she just wants to shut up Sasha Banks. Well, the war of words is over. The war of action begins at WrestleMania between these two, and Banks in from behind. Never turn your back on the boss. And Sasha Banks is making that clear to see right now. Stratus almost invited her in there by turning her back on Sasha Banks. And now she's paying for it. Or is she? Banks caught with the forearm there. Stratus coming back. She's got the arm. And like Ronda Rousey taught her. Armbar! Armbar! The armbar is locked in on Sasha Banks. And Banks is tapping. All the trash talk about her training. And Sasha Banks taps to the armbar. Is Trish Stratus about to close her career with one final victory? Will she shut up the boss this weekend? We are going to be finding out for certain at WrestleMania in that bout right there. Two generations of women's wrestling collide. Sasha Banks, Trish Stratus at the grandest stage of them all. But SmackDown has so much more going on. Perfect, G.O.D., the Saviors in a triple threat tag team match for the SmackDown Tag Team Titles. We can also reveal now that on the pre-show of Night 2 of WrestleMania, it will be Kevin Owens and Kota Ibushi meeting one-on-one as they look to steal the show for that Intercontinental Championship. And of course, it's not the only women's matchup the SmackDown's got going on. Becky Lynch and Shayna Baszler, the man versus the queen. Who will leave as SmackDown Women's Champion? Well, the choke out from Shayna Baszler earlier tonight leave a lasting memory of Becky Lynch. Then the grudge match between Jay White and Kazuchika Okada. This has been building for months. Will the era of the Switchblade come to pass? Or will the Rainmaker take down Jay White? And then, of course, we know the main event of Night 1 of WrestleMania. A triple threat match. Ricochet, Moxley, Ciampa for the WWE Championship. That is a big match. And it leads into our main event. Ricochet and Tommaso Ciampa up next. All the talk, all the build, all the mind games. It has led to this moment. In the state where a year ago the Savior was born, is Ricochet on the cusp of winning the WWE Championship at the grandest stage of them all. Well, to do that, he has to go through Tommaso Ciampa here tonight. He is focused, he is determined, and he wants to be the champion. We have heard, as Moxley put it, the blame game between these two in recent weeks, believing it is one another's fault that Moxley has been added to the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. Remember, this bout that we're getting right now was supposed to main event WrestleMania. And we are getting it here on the final edition of SmackDown before that illustrious event. Ricochet won the Royal Rumble. Tommaso Ciampa was a WWE champion, and Ricochet made the message. The Savior would cleanse the black heart. He stopped a man's head being kicked into the ring pole that evening. Who was that? Jon Moxley. And who laid out both men at the end of last week's SmackDown with a paradigm shift? Jon Moxley. He really is the gate crasher in all of this. But this is what we were building up to for so many weeks. This is what we were prepared for. And now we are getting it tonight. Blackheart versus Savior in the quest for Goldie. Tommaso Ciampa clutches tight to his WWE Championship that he won from Kazuchika Okada. He wasn't even at last year's WrestleMania. Now he main events the first night of it. But tonight, for Ciampa, for Ricochet, it is all about the grudge match between them, boiling the blood and sending a statement to one another and to Jon Moxley before we head to Tampa Bay. Tommaso Ciampa kisses Goldie. Could he kiss him for the final time on a SmackDown show? Ricochet waits on the outside. And if it wasn't for Moxley, we would be seeing this match right now at Raymond James Stadium for the WWE Championship. But instead we have it here tonight, live for you all. This is gonna be big, this is gonna be personal. This was our main event of WrestleMania, but this is the main event of the final SmackDown before that show. Ricochet and Tommaso Ciampa, the bell rings, and we are underway. And Tommaso Ciampa is having none of the mind games of Ricochet here. There has been plenty of them. And there will be no more. Tommaso Ciampa going straight after Ricochet here. Both men, of course, have had matches leading up to WrestleMania. Ricochet, of course, lost to Jon Moxley just a few days after Moxley went to a grueling last man standing match with Apollo Crews at King of the Ring. Ciampa beat the Golden Savior Kota Ibushi, but then the week after was choked out by Jon Moxley. Never tapped out, never was pinned, passed out in a bulldog choke to Moxley. But now here they go, meeting each other in this ring. Ever since then, it has been the blame game that Moxley alluded to. A few weeks ago, it was a fairy tale ending in the ring. Oh, big two count there for Ricochet. It was a fairy tale ending in the ring. Look out here, Ricochet again. Oh, springboard kick off the second rope. It was a fairy tale ending in the ring a few weeks ago from Tommaso Ciampa to Ricochet. Then it was the powerbomb in the backstage area to Drew Gulak. Then last week we saw the assault on Kota Ibushi by Tommaso Ciampa that drew out the Savior. The Savior laid him out. With a Save Yourself in this very ring a week ago before both men were laid out by the paradigm shift. Ricochet said that SmackDown has a plot against him to stop the Savior cleansing WrestleMania and cleansing that WWE Championship, but he doesn't care because he believes it is his driven goal called upon him to cleanse the WWE Championship, to save the WWE. But for Tommaso Ciampa, it is all about him and Goldie. It is all about clutching tight to Goldie and never letting her go. And of course, for the third party in all of this, for Jon Moxley, it is about raising hell at WrestleMania, burning the place to the ground and leaving as WWE Champion. That is what the main event of WrestleMania already has to come, but what more do we have on our way? What more could tonight bring to that illustrious event? These men will write themselves into the same folklore as the likes of The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, of main eventing WrestleMania. And before that, these two are going to do battle with one another for the very first time. Ricochet on the ropes, lining up Ciampa, big uppercut! And we saw this a number of weeks ago when he faced Moxley, and he's using it against him. Ricochet using Ciampa's own rolling neckbreaker against him, and he goes straight to the top rope. Ciampa in a perfect position. Phoenix Splash from Ricochet. Hooks the leg. Has he beaten the Blackheart? No. Close though. No doubt about it. Close there, but you know there is plenty more to come its way in this contest. They have barely scratched the surface, but the question has to be, is it worth it for them to do this to one another? Days before WrestleMania, look out, Ricochet! Driving the face of Tommaso Ciampa into the mat there. Ciampa though immediately able to rebound, flying lariat again takes him down, and Ciampa sees his own chance, and there he is in the corner. Knee tremor to Ricochet. Ciampa with the immediate response, hooks the leg of the Savior. Has the Blackheart beaten him tonight? No! Ricochet kicks out at 2. Oh, the bad blood is thick in the air here in St. Louis. This has been so long in the making, and finally, it is living up to the hype. It is living up to all the bad blood. And then when you throw Moxley in the mix this weekend, what more are we going to get from these two? Ciampa lining him up, knee brace in the face, discus clothesline follow-up. We heard from, beautiful counter from the Royal Rumble winner. We heard from Moxley earlier this evening. He doesn't care if these two men burn each other to the ground here tonight, so long as they're at WrestleMania, and so long as they fight for the right to be WWE Champion. Moxley doesn't care. But for these two, they should care. What if one of them gets injured? What if one of them gets busted open here? How much of an impact could that make for the title bout at WrestleMania? It is a big risk to take, but with all the bad blood that has been spilt, with all the mind games that have been played, for these two, it will be worth it. Ricochet is lighting up the black heart. The Savior will take to the skies. And with pinpoint precision, he lands down on the WWE Champion. Back in the ring we go here. Ricochet sees a chance in front of him. Look out, Lion Tamer! Lion Tamer from Ricochet. Look at how the back of Tommaso Ciampa is arched. The agony is going to be going through, but Ciampa flips over, rolls out. They're giving it all to each other here. Oh, what a boot! A brutal boot in the face. Wait a minute, Ciampa! ProJaked Ciampa! The double knees into the back of Ricochet! Legs hooked! Center of the ring! Ricochet kicks out at two! This place is on its feet for what we're witnessing right now! Ricochet! He's right back up to his feet! The Savior back up to a vertical basis! Cannonball sent on! Despite what Ciampa tries, Ricochet is not going down without one hell of a fight! Gets him with the cutter again! Shooting star from the Royal Rumble winner! Has the Savior done it here? There's two and... I'm not sure... Do you know what? I'm not sure. Did Ricochet let go, or did Ciampa kick out? I don't know, but Ciampa definitely evaded the attempted springboard kick there. Ciampa misses the knee, though. Ricochet gets out of the way. Again, tries for that springboard kick. Ciampa sidesteps. Leaping knee. Again, counted it all. Thrust kick firmly in the gut, and both men are already showing the signs of the battle they're giving one another in this fantastic contest. Ricochet on the second rope, looking at Ciampa, lining him up, looking to strike, leaping cutter! And could it be that a Savior self is on the way? Could the Savior beat the... Wait a minute! Fairy tale ending! Cover at Ciampa! Ciampa kicks out! Absolute madness! Ciampa kicks out of his own finishing move! Ricochet, elbow drop, no one home! Oh, and that has infuriated the Blackheart to have his own finishing move delivered on him. Tommaso Ciampa is in no good mood, and Ricochet's about to find that out for himself. Wait, no, Ciampa, he's sick! Oh my God! A brutal power bomb to the floor! Ciampa arguing with the ref. What? Ricochet's up on the apron! He's up on his feet. Wait, what the hell? What? Mojo! What is Mojo Rawley? Rawley's back! Hyperdrive on Ricochet! We haven't seen Rawley since the Rumble! And he just threw Ricochet back in the ring for Ciampa! Jessica Khan didn't see it! Fairy tale ending! Ciampa hooks the leg! Tommaso Ciampa beats Ricochet! What a brutal fight that was! Somehow Ricochet was up on his feet, but Rawley came back to the aid of the Blackheart once more. Rawley gives Ciampa the win. The Blackheart topples the Savior days before WrestleMania. The boos ring out in St. Louis, and Rawley is back in the ring, back with the man who he has stood beside, who he helped to keep the Blackheart in the bank with him. And Rawley seems elated to be reunited with his friend Tommaso Ciampa. Rawley believing that with him back, there's nothing stopping them. And Tommaso Ciampa retaining the title. And what? What? Why Ciampa? Ciampa assaulting Mojo now. What the? ProJaked Ciampa. What the hell is going on? Ciampa went on the warpath after Mojo was assaulted and taken out of the Rumble by him. No! No! Don't do this, Ciampa! Don't! Oh! Mojo's head driven into the ring post. And Tommaso Ciampa tells him never trust a Blackheart. Not even Mojo Rawley matters to Tommaso Ciampa anymore. All Ciampa cares about is Goldie. He is incensed with him. He is desperate to keep hold of that WWE Championship. Will he topple the Savior and Death Rider at WrestleMania? The answer is just days away.